You're taking the brush out of the hand of the artist. So with what we're excited about with our technology is it's AI, but it's giving the artist tools so that they can create artwork faster and better.
Wow.
But they're still in control of the actual, end product.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Make More podcast with Matt Heslin. I'm Matt Heslin. I'm your host. I've got a great friend here with me today. Not only a great friend, but a serial entrepreneur who you're going to enjoy. A lot of you have been asking me about artificial intelligence and how that fits into our investment plans and investment portfolio. I've got an expert here who is not only an expert in IT and web design and so forth, but has started his own AI company. So he's going to give us a unique look into that world. Let me introduce Mike Merchant. Mike, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks, Matt.
How you doing?
Doing great.
You look great.
Thank you. You too.
You always look great. Mike, I'm going to read a little bit of your bio just because I want our audience to know who they're dealing with and your seriousness of where you're transporting information into the world of AI. So 25 years of building and leading exceptional software engineering teams, streamlining efficiency and productivity, driving vision and strategy, and applying innovation to create beautiful software products. 17 years of leading the development of hundreds of digital experiences for Oculus, which most of you know Oculus, Meta, iRobot, and Netgear. And he's also the founder of Codazen, and he is also the founder of an innovative company called Perception, which is an AI startup company, which is really what I want to focus on today. Yeah. I really want to focus on, perception. So a lot of the people are asking, what is the best way to get involved in AI? I mean, from an investment standpoint, are we in the early stages of it? Are we in the mid stages? Is it too late? Where are we at
I think we're definitely in the early stages. There's some pretty foundational technologies that are just reaching consumers right now. So you have like ChatGPT, for example,
right?
Or you can have a conversation with an AI. You can ask it questions and it can respond in really human-like ways that, feel like it really understands what you're saying, understands the context of the conversation. So it's those technologies are super powerful. So I think the best way to start learning is just to start using the technologies.
Is AI something? I mean, when you think back, like in our generation, the Terminator. I mean, is AI something we should be afraid of? I mean, Elon Musk says this could be the end of the world. I mean, is that something we should actually be afraid of?
I don't think it's. Sorry.
Right. Well,
yeah, no. I should have been prepared for that question.
It's just whatever.
Yeah, it's AI is very powerful, and I think it's important that we have AI and the capability to use AI in the right hands.
There should be protocols, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there are a lot of complicated issues with using AI that the companies that develop the technologies are going to have to deal with. But using it is actually the most empowering thing that you can do, because without it, you are going to be left behind. No matter what industry you're in, AI is going to transform that industry. And if you're not using it, if you're not understanding how it's affecting your business, you're going to be in not the best place.
Mike, how should guys like me, like other entrepreneurs who are not AI guys, we know. Yeah. I use ChatGPT.
Yeah,
okay?
that's a great start.
I'm learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is AI going to be limited to kind of a super Google? Or does it have just tremendous upside?
Not at all, and that's why I'm saying it's really in the early stages. So we're really dipping our toe in the water. with ChatGPT, even though ChatGPT is so incredibly powerful and you can see application in so many different ways, being able to put in a question and get an answer is really only one very narrow use case.
Let me ask you, just because I have some questions that I was thinking about yesterday afternoon. Like, what inspired you to get into AI?
So, because we do work with a lot of very innovative companies, so we partner with companies like Meta, Oculus, iRobot, and so we also help we help them with their research in AI and with virtual reality. So we're on the very cutting edge, and so even 4 years ago, we started our own internal R&D team to have the capabilities in-house to be able to work with AI.
So this is an evolving technology, right? How does one stay up with the pace of technological advance? I mean, how does a guy like me stay? I mean, I feel like I'm still back in the flip phone days compared to my kids.
Yeah.
But how do you stay up with the trend of AI and where it's going? Is it something you just continue to read about on the internet? Is it something that you go to AI classes? I mean, guys like me, what should we be doing?
Yeah, I think using the technology for everything you can is the best way to stay up to speed on where the state of the art is. If you want to be investing in if you want to invest in the technology and you want to be ahead of the game, then you really need to dig into what the researchers are doing and what the latest research that hasn't reached consumers, what that looks like, and what industries that's affecting.
Okay, so we're lucky enough to have you. Well, we are. I mean, we're lucky enough to have you, who started Perception. What is Perception? And tell me a little bit about how we can use Perception.
Yeah. So the best way to explain Perception is to explain ChatGPT, which is, you're familiar with. So ChatGPT is a transformer that's basically trained to take input and to create output. And it's trained on millions and millions of gigabytes of data to where it can predict what the best next word of a sentence should be in response to a question, right? And it forms the response to your question by iteratively figuring out what the best next word is for that sentence it's going to respond to you in. So it's emulating that human ability to understand context and give you a sentence in response to the conversation, to the entire
let's
conversation.
Talk about Perception.
Yeah,
you invented Perception for what reason?
So the reason I explain why ChatGPT works is ChatGPT is predicting what the next word in a sentence is going to be.
Okay.
The way Perception works is we created an AI that can predict what the next color in a color palette should be in response to a set of words.
So, like, if I'm trying to create a mood, I want to create a feng shui. I want to create a happy setting.
Yep.
I can talk into your GBT.
Exactly.
And it'll produce the colors for me.
Exactly.
Really.
Yep. So you can give it mood words like calm or welcoming,
angry, whatever.
Yeah, or even like chic, or it actually will work with any words in the English language. It works with multiple words, and it's able to generate color palette ideas, multiple, that you can look at and say, oh, I really like this, or I really like that. The other powerful thing it can do is it can match existing colors. Wow. So if I want to match the color of this chair and I want to paint the walls or change the curtains, I can actually say, and I want this setting to be really feel innovative and smart.
Is there an address that our listeners can go to try your product?
Yeah, it's perception.io. is the website.
So go to perception.io.
Yep.
And you can talk about the moods and the colors will be.
Yeah.
And
You can sign up for a free account. So the easiest thing to use is our color palette generator, where you could just put in words and it'll generate color palette ideas. There's way more powerful tools where you can upload images, you can analyze other color palettes, and you can kind of mix and match colors and words. So there's way more advanced capabilities. And then we're also what I'm really excited about is we have APIs that we have partners that are integrating our technology right into their technology.
What is an API?
An API is an application programming interface. It's just a way of connecting two different computer systems together. But essentially, our technology can be embedded into other technologies.
Just a question for you.
Silence my phone.
No,
Sorry.
just a question for you. What kind of challenges have you incurred in the development of AI? I mean, there's got to be some challenges. What kind of challenges are there?
The challenges with developing AI technologies is that there's a few different skill sets that you need to actually create a product. You need data scientists that are really they're really mathematicians or statisticians. So a lot of AI is built on what's called machine learning that really uses statistical analysis. It's really a statistics problem that has some programming to it that's what is used to predict like the next word or the next color. It uses that kind of statistical model, a very advanced statistical model. So you have data scientists, you have data engineers who have to get all the data packaged up and ready for the data scientists to train on. And then you have to have product people to create an actual product and figure out the business use cases that are going to actually affect industry. So
it's interesting that so I could literally go on to perception.io. I could start using the technology because, as you know, I just bought a home in Park City, and so did you. We're neighbors now.
Yeah.
We're neighbors in Southern Cal, and we're neighbors in Park City.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of Mike Merchant. By the way, how's Angela?
She's doing great. Yeah.
She's doing good?
Yeah, she's doing great. She says hi.
I love her. And the kids are doing well?
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. Your son's just killing it at University of Utah.
He's learning how to live on his own.
Yeah. Adulting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. I got my 19-year-old.
I'm still working on it myself.
I've got my 19-year-old son Reagan at home now.
Nice.
He was playing soccer in Germany, blew out his knee, came back, had surgery, and now he's playing for Loyola Marymount.
Wow.
He got picked up right away.
Good for him.
Cool. Let me switch gears for a second, though.
Yeah.
Because there's ethical considerations that have to be thought about.
Yeah.
What are those ethical considerations, and how do you navigate on it? I know it's a generic question.
Yeah.
But I think about the potential for abuse of AI. You know, what are the ethical considerations when developing the AI product that you got to think about?
Yeah. There's definitely there's copyright issues. Okay. There's deep fake issues.
What's that?
So deep fake is where I can train an AI to create a video that looks like you, that sounds like you, that talks like you.
Oh, geez.
So, so you don't even need to do this podcast anymore, Matt. You could just let your AI version of yourself.
I can sleep in on Saturday mornings. Stephen keeps getting me out of bed.
Yeah. So, but the ability to manipulate people with deep fakes is a really
that seems very
complicated, serious issue. So, there's definitely regulations that are needed for things like that. And it's even I think it was let me look at was it Gwyneth Paltrow? So OpenAI itself that developed ChatGPT reached out to Gwyneth Paltrow and said, hey, we'd love to use your voice for our voice for OpenAI, for ChatGPT. And she said no, she wasn't interested.
Okay.
But lo and behold, months later, they come out with their voice-enabled ChatGPT, and it sounds like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, my God. Not illegal?
Well, there's certainly issues like how did that happen? What did they, what materials did they use? There's definitely ethical concerns, right?
Right.
The legality is a question mark.
I mean, it's so, if you can just create things out of thin air that look like me and sound like me.
Yeah. Well, think about politicians. If you can manipulate, voters by putting out a video from a politician that looks and sounds like a politician. So yeah. So the question about, what regulation or the power of AI and how, there's definitely scary downsides to it and things that, definitely
So
need
it goes
to be
back to those ethical considerations.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. There's got to be protocols put in place.
Yeah. Then there's the other side of it is the fear. I think a lot of it's unwarranted, but the fear that AI will replace a lot of jobs. It will definitely change jobs. The question is, will it replace humans in those jobs entirely?
Well, that's one of the questions I have for you.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
My take on it is humans need to adapt, and we need to learn to use the technologies to be better, faster, and deliver, better results. But we need to learn to drive the technologies and use them in our work, or we will be left behind, right? Or we will be replaced by. So, and a lot of people have said this. I'm not the first person to say it, but your job is not going to be replaced by AI. It's going to be replaced by somebody who's using AI.
Oh, interesting. So that just begs the question: how do people stay involved?
They got to use AI.
You got to use it.
It's so powerful that it really is game changing. It'd be like saying I want to operate in the world today, but I don't want a cell phone. It's really hard to operate and be productive and communicate with people on the go without a cell phone, right?
I'm thinking about the potential for litigation with AI. It seems like if you get some bad actors involved, I mean, Russia's using it, China's using it, Iran's using it.
Yeah.
I mean, you get some bad actors out there.
Yeah.
I mean, this could theoretically become warfare. I mean,
it's absolutely going to be part of warfare.
I mean, because you think about what does man use advanced technologies for? First application, military.
Yep.
To get a jump on their competitor.
Yeah.
It's really frightening in that sense.
That's why we need to encourage, Americans to be more familiar, more fluent, and learn how to develop these technologies ourselves, to stay one step ahead of the other countries and the competition, basically, right?
So how long have you been dealing with AI? Have you been building AI?
Well, actively about 4 years we've been doing our R&D, and it was perception was incubated, really still is incubated within Codazen. We started looking at we started hiring data scientists, hiring data engineers, and building a team that could develop these technologies.
Wow.
And doing that R&D, and perception came out of that R&D, and now we're working to spin it off as a fully independent company.
So you take perception out to investors.
That's definitely on our radar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, of all the, and not to mean, but of all the things you could put an AI application to, why colors?
Color, and I learned about this. Through our business, we're always working with color. We do web development, we do a lot of digital marketing through Codazen. So whenever we did a branding project for ourselves or working with one of our clients, you're always dealing with color, and it's always really difficult. There's always disagreements about color. And
what do you mean disagreements about color?
well, nobody can articulate what, or maybe a designer can try to articulate, but there's no kind of objective study of what different color combinations mean. We had one book in our office that was published over 30 years ago by a Japanese guy, Shige Kobayashi, and he developed this association between words and colors. So we would always use that book, but it's 30 years old, and so when we formed our AI team, we said, let's build the technology to be able to put any colors and any words instead of just what's in this book.
So in my new house, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we love it. It's beautiful, but we want to make changes to it.
Yeah.
Could you see an application for furniture? I mean, could you see an application for...
Yeah.
I mean, because I got to imagine with perception, you guys could go to, and I'm just, forgive me if I'm stepping on toes here, but it seems like you could go to Home Depot, you could go to Lowe's, you could go to Standard Brands paints. I mean, that'd be a phenomenal customer, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's exciting. Look at
yeah.
that smile. Yeah, you're already on that.
Yeah, no, we're seeing all. I mean, interior design and like kind of like do-it-yourself interior design is one of our top focuses right now. I was just in Home Depot yesterday.
Were you meeting with this?
Yeah. Doing some market research and looking at they have some digital experiences in there that our technology would be perfect for. So, and we definitely are in discussions with the paint companies, including some that are in Home Depot.
So this is gonna be a revenue generator, man.
Yeah, we're working hard on closing a deal in that space, and that's our first market we're going to. But we're seeing opportunities if you could shop for fashion like on a fashion e-commerce site. Say you go to Nordstrom.com and you see an outfit, and it's not just one piece of clothing; it's like the entire outfit. We could analyze that picture and say, what look are you creating with those colors of the top and the skirt and the shoes and the purse.
Jesus.
So, or the suit that you want, Matt. So, and so then, and then you could shop by that mood. You say, oh, I want to look sophisticated. You click sophisticated and all the sophisticated suits will come up.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it's kind of, it's a little overwhelming. There's so many different things we can do with it. Just like, OpenAI has so many opportunities to use ChatGPT.
Are these AI companies making money right now?
Millions and millions. Yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Is it because they license the product? Or
they're charging subscriptions
okay.
to access, to be able to use the tools more often, to be able to get the latest engine. They're making
scads of cash,
hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah.
That's amazing.
There's companies like Midjourney, OpenAI they're doing very well.
So tell me about what's next on the radar. I mean, you got Codazen, you got Perception.
Yeah.
Perception is going to be a standalone company.
Yeah.
To take it out to the public markets, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your long-term goal? Where do you want to go with this?
Yeah, I want Perception to be able to stand on its own. It's been this internal R&D project. It's been incubated at Codazen. We need to be able to build a focused team around it to have that go-to-market strategy to go to the paint industry, the fashion e-commerce industry, even build your own website sites where you can pull in the colors that or create your brand right there, right? So there's a lot of applications, and we need to create a team. This has kind of been my baby. I've been involved in it from day one, kind of
you've invested a lot of your own money in this deal.
Ton. Yeah, over the last 4 years, we've put millions into it.
That's important for the listeners to know.
Yeah,
that this guy's not just a serial entrepreneur and a great friend, but he's putting his own money into these ventures because he believes in them.
Yeah,
He
thank
knows
you.
he knows the end game is going to be a profitable game. So I mean, if you're interested, you can reach out to me or Mike. You can give your information.
Yeah.
There's so much there that, and I have known Mike, so I can testify. I mean, he's an ethical guy. He just won the Bishop's Award for in the Catholic Business and Ethics Conference. I won the year before,
Yeah.
and he won the year after.
You can't get rid of me, Matt.
Dude, it's just like one big happy family. So Mike won the award this year for the Conference on Business and Ethics.
Thank you.
So the good thing about that is if there's some investment to be made in Mike's company, you've got a great guy at the helm, and that's important.
Yeah, and we are really cautious about taking investment in these early days. There's a ton of risk. I've put millions of my own money on the line.
Yeah,
but like I'm comfortable doing that. But like when you're investing in very early stage companies, there is a ton of risk.
High risk.
So yeah, it's and that like venture capitalists live in that world. Angel investors, they live in that world where
10
they're comfortable.
fail, 1 succeed.
Exactly.
They
yeah.
go 10x on the money.
Yeah.
100x.
I think we got a good shot on this one, but otherwise I wouldn't have invested so much time and energy.
So
in
how
it,
much time do you spend at each company working?
I probably about 80% on each one. That's
That's a lot. That's over 100. Yeah. That's a hell of a lot. But he's not a mathematician.
Yeah.
Let's just hope he.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's that's part of why we need to raise investment to really be able to turn on the afterburners on this, because it can't be a side project anymore.
No.
And we want to build a dedicated team around it.
Well, I'm when you and I've talked, I'm very interested. I mean, knowing that you're at the helm is a I invest in companies, I invest in properties, I invest in people, and people are the key component. I don't care if it's AI, it's all technology.
Thank you.
It's the guy behind the AI. It's kind of like Bitcoin and Ethereum and all this stuff. I mean, I don't necessarily understand how this currency comes out of nowhere, what's backing it. It just seems like Jesus, I don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
But and then you look at that. So then you go and you look at Coinbase and the predecessors that went under.
Yeah.
Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, it just depends on the people who's running the show.
Yeah.
And you want people with ethics and morals and good standards.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah. Well, that's why you won the award.
And you too.
Yeah. Well, I paid the bishop. I'm just kidding, Bishop. Anyway, so yeah. I'm interested in understanding, is AI something that in 20 years, I think you did say this, 20 years from now, if you're not involved in AI, you're going to be wishing you did. You're going to be looking back going, I missed the boat. And so the big companies like Microsoft and Apple, I would imagine, and Google, and I would imagine they're all drilling super hard on AI, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So if you don't want to get involved in an early stage company, do you think these companies' stocks are going to be skyrocketing with AI?
It's, I mean, they can't all win, right?
Right.
In every industry.
But
So
they don't all have to win, but they all can be profitable.
they
right?
they can all be, they can all win in their own ways, but it will change things. So, I mean, like for example, a lot of times I don't go to Google anymore. I go to ChatGPT.
Yeah, me too.
So it's like you would ask a question to Google before and get some articles and things that you could read. Yeah. And, but now I use ChatGPT. But then Google just rolled out their AI to their search engine now. So it's trying to give AI responses to your, to Google searches. So I think, Google's core business is somewhat vulnerable there, but they've got a bunch of smart people. They've been working on this technology for many, many years.
Do they have a AI project out?
They just rolled it out to their search engine, but they've got DeepMind. They've got a real huge AI R&D team that's been going on for many years. But OpenAI just kind of beat them to the punch in terms of rolling this out to consumers.
Is OpenAI like ChatGPT?
Yeah, ChatGPT is from OpenAI, but GPT technology is a model. It's an architecture for how you can do this. So, like, we're using GPT technology for perception, for example, but they branded their chat as ChatGPT.
So I'm sure there's a lot of young. So we target a lot of our audience to the millennials and the Gen Zennials, as my daughter will call them.
Yeah.
Gen Z and millennials.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to get involved in that as an industry, as a job, a career,
Yeah.
how should they go about doing that?
Well, if they want to be on the technical side, then data science is an amazing field, and that's, if you enjoy statistics, which is great. Statistics is great for marketing. A lot of people, there's the creative side of marketing and there's the data-driven side of marketing. So we deal with that a lot at Codazen, the kind of the data-driven side of marketing. Mm-hmm. And so, if you're into that, like data analytics and data science, that's an amazing field to be in right now.
Data science.
Yep. Those are the kind of the mathematician people who are developing these GPT models to predict, how to create imagery, to create those videos, to create, color palettes. Those are the type of people that create that technology.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So I was always a very good evaluator and analyzer of equitable companies, mm-hmm. companies on the stock exchange. I would do the Warren Buffett, tear the company apart,
yep.
find out the free cash flow, figure out what the multiple on the free cash flow is.
Yep.
Is that even necessary anymore, or does GPT and AI going to just take over all the stock predictions, and all I should just do is go to a stock AI company?
No, so that's where the human element comes in. That, and your experience, your intelligence, your good looks.
Now you're talking. He's talking about the guy over here, not me.
But when you take those public company records, right?
Right.
Is it a 10K or what is it? Yeah.
Well, so 10Qs, 10Ks.
10Q, 10K. But let's say you had a question about what a company was doing, and instead of reading through the entire 10Q or 10K, you could just upload the 10K into ChatGPT and ask it questions.
Is that possible right now?
Absolutely.
So how do you? So you go to ChatGPT and say upload Microsoft's 10K.
Microsoft's 10K and say summarize the 10K with respect to opportunities for Microsoft over the next 5 years in AI.
You can do it with ChatGPT?
Yep.
So it will actually upload the 10K?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
And it'll understand the context of that 10K, and then you'd be able to ask it questions. So that makes you, as a the person doing the financial analyst work, so much more productive, right? Because you're not sitting there for hours and hours reading every line, but you can process that information so much faster and find the nuggets of information, and then you make a strategic decision. And you can ask ChatGPT, you could say, do you think this would be a good idea? And, give me the pros and cons of an investment in Microsoft at this stage.
Well, Mike, it seems like a lot of stock analysts and a lot of stockbrokers ought to be scared.
I mean, they're going to be. They should use the technology to do their job better and faster and cheaper and do more it's just accelerating things and making things, yeah, just like every other technology. I'm a technology optimist for the most part. There's definitely downsides, like we talked about, to technology, but I mean, technology has created prosperity, the prosperity that we live in the modern world, right? And the comfort and safety and security that we have.
Well, Mike, so it would seem to me, like I have a family foundation that goes out and does a lot of charitable works around the world.
Yeah.
And it would seem to me that a lot of the solutions that we're putting in place to help homelessness and to help feed God's people and do the right thing could be solved much more rapidly with AI input.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 Exactly. How can we farm better?
How can we
with
farm
AI?
better? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So how does AI build on its intelligence? I mean, people tell me it's self-learning. It just keeps learning.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Well, for example, with perception, we can see when somebody searches for something, if there are results that they don't click on, then those probably are not the best results. So if they have, just like actually Google does this, if you have to scroll down the page and click on the seventh result in Google, Google learns from that. And it says, oh, that seventh result, more people want that than the first six. So I'm going to put that seventh one higher next time. Okay. And over time, it's not just one person's click, but it's over millions and millions of clicks. It learns and it can be fine-tuned and retrained based on that data. So that's the same way that YouTube's algorithms work, Netflix algorithms work, Facebook, Instagram, all these technologies, they do use this continuous improvement of their intelligence using the data that they have. So it's that can have downsides, right? Where we just we binge watch Netflix because it's really good at giving us what we want.
Yeah.
And so we have to be cognizant of how those algorithms are kind of in a way fighting for our attention, and it's really hard for teenagers, really hard for for all of us really to cope with that. That's part of the downside of technology, that where it gets so good that it's hard to resist. It's almost like addictive, right?
So is that one of the downsides? I mean, of the downsides of AI?
Yeah.
What are the biggest pitfalls? What are the biggest landmines?
We talked about some of them with deep fakes, with military technology. I think making sure that there's systems in place that ensure that the human is still involved at some level, right? Just like that. Yeah, you don't want things on complete autopilot. There will be a little bit more autonomy in the future. That's something that is probably the more, I would say, the more. I wouldn't say I'm an expert in this area, but there's something called AI agents.
What's that?
Which is essentially, it's letting AI actually do things for you, and letting AI communicate with other AIs.
Oh boy!
So that's where we start removing the human. Like if you trusted the AI so much, where you're going to say, oh, go put my AI or do my investments for me on autopilot. Go, like, I trust you, AI, so much, and maybe you make a lot more money that way, so then you like that. So that's where it starts cutting out those. It starts affecting human jobs. It starts affecting, where nobody's supervising what is happening, and that can be
dangerous.
Really dangerous. Yeah. So but we'll have to learn how to
control that
and cope with that in in the next 20 years.
We've talked about AI. We've talked about how AI works. We've talked about what some of the pitfalls of AI are. We've talked about what some of the upsides of AI are. We've talked about perception in depth. One of the questions that I have is, and I've asked this already in a little different prism, but so what's the future look like for AI in 20 years? I mean, is this just going to be an AI-driven world, or everything is AI, and you're either using it or we did say that. You're either using it or you're going to be left behind. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But the multiplicity of AI is infinite, right?
It is, and I mean, I'm not sure that what the answer to that is, Matt, but I'm, as a technology optimist and knowing what, seeing what the internet has done for us, seeing what mobile phones have done for us in terms of, having access to information, being more productive, about being able to communicate. So I think it is going to form kind of a layer of efficiency, productivity, and hopefully prosperity.
So you're definitely an optimist.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's definitely pitfalls, and there's always downsides to change.
Yeah, I was thinking about Sarah for a second. I was like, wouldn't it be cool? I mean, they got the business magnet program, they got the medical magnet program, they got the law magnet program, they got the engineering magnet program, they got the arts magnet program. They have an AI magnet program.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, Rich Meyer, if you're listening, AI magnet program.
Yeah.
Put it in place. Get the high schools involved.
I love it.
I really think, I mean, when you think about the technology and the ability to effectuate massive change on a massive scale in a good way, as well as a negative way, but in a good way, this is it. This is why I wanted to have this podcast, because people are like, they want to know more about it.
Yeah.
They want to understand it. They want to know, should I invest in it?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes. Yeah. Invest in it. Get involved. Learn the companies with AI. It's so fascinating. And it literally, in every podcast I've had so far, I ask every single person, so how does AI play out for your industry? How does it play out for your foundation? How does it play out for your... And every one of them to a T said it's critical.
Yeah.
And so I think the alert button's been hit.
Yeah.
People know AI is the future.
Mm-hmm.
They know that it's critical. They don't know necessarily how to use it perfectly. They don't know understand some of the pitfalls that you've explained. But what they don't want to see is a replay of Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Terminator.
And just coming back to perception for a second, we're excited about perception, that there is no company
doing what you're doing,
doing what we're doing, where we have like perception is really this ChatGPT for designers. There are image generation tools, for example, where you can say, generate me an image of a cat sitting on a Volkswagen Bug in the style of Monet, and you can create that. And AI will just generate that image like that.
You have to use an AI product, right?
Yeah. But there's, Midjourney, DALL-E. There's these technologies that can easily do that.
Wow.
In 2 seconds. But what we don't like about that as a creative company is it's really taking the brush out of the hand of the artist, right? Because it's like a black box. You put in a prompt and you get an image, and you're like, okay, well, maybe you can start interacting with it and say, no, make the cat bigger or something like that. But you're not, you're taking the brush out of the hand of the artist. So with what we're excited about with our technology is it's AI, but it's giving the artist tools so that they can create artwork faster and better, but they're still in control of the actual, end product, right? So, and we think that's, there's a lot of tools in that space that can, bridge that for for designers and perception. We want perception to be like at that place. So that's what we're really excited about. That and there, there's probably, I don't know for the financial industry, but there's probably industry specific, AIs that are being developed that are going to affect each industry. But perception, we hope that's for the design industry and the do-it-yourself industry.
I'm seeing a lot of. So I use social media.
Mm-hmm.
When I go on social media, I'm seeing images of like Elon Musk on there saying things that I know he didn't say.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like being created by an AI image?
Could be.
I mean, I'm seeing stuff like Warren Buffett saying stuff that he didn't say.
Yeah.
Because I've known his work well enough over the years.
Yeah.
Where he didn't say this one stock's going to make you $1 million.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett would never say that.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing it on social media, and it looks like him. It sounds like him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who the hell's creating this and putting this out there? And why don't they put a stop to it? I mean, there's no police department.
I can't, get into specifics about that. I know that all the social media companies they have, they spend billions on content moderation, and they are using AI to do content moderation, not entirely, but they have both human teams and AI that try to police that. But yeah, it's kind of like the military example where it's always it is a battle of staying one step ahead of, you have content producers that have the AI technologies that can create stuff quickly, and if you have the wrong intent and you don't have the ethical background and you're just trying to manipulate people or get them to buy something they shouldn't buy, you have the tools to kind of do that, right? And so that's what makes it dangerous.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, is there anything we haven't covered that maybe we want to touch on?
I would love to. I love what you brought up about JSerra. I'd love to talk about the foundation that we've recently started.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. In high school, I was part of an engineering club that where we built solar and electric race cars, and we raced them around the country. We actually even went to Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you really?
We raced a solar car in Australia.
This was in high school?
In high school.
Wow.
It was a super special program, and the teacher, his name is Bob Franz, so we started this foundation in his honor. It's the Bob Franz Foundation, and he's involved in helping us get this set up. He's so modest and humble. He would not do this by himself, but we're doing this on his behalf.
What's the mission?
The mission is to, in early education up through high school, up through senior year in high school, to support hands-on education that teaches engineering principles. So many schools, almost all schools, have removed the hands-on education. There's no more auto shop, there's no more wood shop, there's no more ceramics, photography.
Right.
It was kind of at the high school where we had our program. It was surreal. We took over all these old shops that were abandoned. We were in the old ceramics room, and all the old ceramics tools were there, and here we are, we're building these cars. But it was because Bob had this vision, and he encouraged us to do this program, and we worked days and nights and weekends to get these cars built. So
they were solar?
Yeah, it started out with a little electric car that runs on kind of 2-car battery sized batteries, lead acid, and then it expanded to a full size solar car by my senior year. And
dude, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah, it was in the mid '90s. We were doing that.
So this has all been underway for years.
Yeah. So we want to bring that on a much smaller scale to even kids as young as 3rd grade to be able to build some kind of car. And who knows what the technology is going to be in 10 years for cars. Maybe it's hydrogen power, maybe it's but But if we're too scared for safety reasons, for, to have our kids do hands-on things, it's going to be a real problem in the future for this country.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're talking about having to go back and reverse the curriculum, basically.
It doesn't need to completely. Yeah. Well, in a way, yeah, you're right. It is the way the curriculum has been evolved, starting really from 25 years ago. It's been focused on just the main core subjects, getting our scores up, and getting everybody into a 4-year university.
Right.
And we've lost all the trade.
My wife says that all the time.
Yeah.
Not everybody needs to go to college.
Right.
Trade schools are always going to be needed. Trades are always going to be needed.
And even the kids that go to college, they don't have any of the experience tinkering with their hands and the things that they would have done in high school programs, like ceramics, like photography, like electronics, things like that. All those are gone. And so we want to have this foundation to bring that education back. Where do you
start?
We're starting with, one is giving teachers the confidence to teach these modules. It does not a full, we're not putting together a full year curriculum, but they can build a little car. They can have some balsa wood, and almost like a pine wood derby, right? Runs on maybe a little solar cell or a couple AA batteries, and the kids can assemble that and they can race them and learn about electricity, learn about the mechanics, learn about solar power.
Would you need to get school boards to approve the curriculum?
I don't think it's not that hard. You could do this in a day. You could do it in so we would love to get school districts on board with partnering with us to invest in bringing these programs. We're actually partnering with Pretend City in Irvine. Mm-hmm. They're hosting a solar derby, and their kids are really little, and so we're working with them to create a program that'll work for little kids.
It's a great project.
We're so excited about it, and it's been really inspiring.
It's needed. It is so needed.
Thank you.
To take it back to a curriculum that's not just technology based. That's not just sexual identification based.
Yeah.
We're talking about trades and talking about crafts and even AI will help those.
Absolutely, yeah. What I was going to say is, those engineers that are going to engineering school, going to university, they need that too, and so we have to import a lot of engineering talent to this country when we have homelessness and we have people that would want a better job, and we don't have enough engineers.
Yeah.
So there's this. There's this opportunity, we think, to encourage engineering and bring back trades, whether you go to university or not. A good friend of mine, I was in high school with, he was an auto shop guy, and he was brilliant. He is brilliant. He's part of the foundation. He didn't go to 4-year university out of college, but he actually got a job at an R&D company because of the program that Bob, he was in this engineering club.
That's amazing.
That R&D company developed the first prototypes of the Tesla Roadster.
Did they really?
What became the Tesla Roadster, those were developed.
Is that car ever going to get out?
Well, it was. I don't know. They had the prototypes.
I put a deposit on one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and
when was that? What year was that?
3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
2 years ago.
Okay.
And it's still sitting there.
He'll make it happen somehow.
Elon Musk always does.
Yeah. But yeah, he got to work on that, and
that's cool.
And and he started his own company doing electronics for hot rod conversions and all kind. I mean, he's a brilliant guy, but he got the opportunity to do this hands-on work in high school.
Wow.
And so definitely we
You're
need
excited about that.
we need it, and I'm really excited about it. So we'll start slow, but we're going to seek out grants and we'll do fundraising, and hopefully the school districts that are a little more well off can invest in this for their own kids. But we want to help serve underprivileged school communities as well. So
I got 3 questions for you.
Yeah.
Why the name Perception?
So we're just starting with color. We're the way we see perception is it's that chat GPT for design.
Okay.
Our slogan is unlocking the language of design. And the language of design, color is huge. Within 90 seconds of seeing something, we make a decision about color. And up to, like, do I want to test drive that car? Do I want to buy that sweater? Up to from 62 to 90% of our decision, do I like that or not, comes from color. So color is huge in so many industries. So we're starting with color, but we've already done a bunch of R&D on typography, for example, on imagery, other layout, other elements of design. And design is all about perception. It's all about you're designing something so that somebody perceives your product a certain way, right? I dress a certain way. If I'm going to go to a wedding, most people wear, black suit, white shirt, nice colored tie. It's a very formal occasion.
It does.
And so, if I show up, in a crazy, Hawaiian outfit, maybe I want to be perceived as an eccentric guy, and I'm kind of out of place, and I'm okay with that. But so design is all about perception, right?
Interesting. I wondered about the name. I was like, what does that mean? So 2 questions I ask everybody that just kind of off the wall questions, because I think it describes some, the personality of the person. Tell me about what is your favorite beer? Do you have a favorite beer?
I like a grapefruit IPA.
Is that like
the Sculpin grapefruit IPA is when I want to have like a dessert, but a lot of times I'll have like a Stella or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. And then second question. This is the Make More podcast. Make more money, make more life, make more of your health, make more friendships, make more of the world. If there's one thing that you wanted to make more of, more experiences, more travel, what's the one thing that you want to make more of?
More time with my family is probably more. There's not enough time in the day to do the things you want to do in business and in philanthropy, and also I have 4 kids too, so it's like trying to divide my time. We actually just Natalia and I, my youngest, she's going to be 9 in a couple of days.
Wow. And
we just went to crypto.com and saw Caitlin Clark play the Sparks last night. And,
oh, really?
Yes, in the WNBA. So that was awesome.
That's cool.
But she was tired. She, we were both exhausted, and we were like, let's go. And
so you made the trek,
and we had such a great time, and but
how full was the stadium?
It was sold out. It was packed.
Wow. So who played?
It was the Indiana. See, I'm not a sports guy.
Is it women's
Wizards?
Basketball? Yeah,
you're gonna have to edit this.
Yeah, was it a women's basketball?
It was the WNBA. Yeah, the LA Sparks.
And it's so sold out.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And thank you, Indiana. Indiana Fever and the LA Sparks, and they won they took the lead. The Indiana Fever took the lead, and
who would have thought women's basketball would catch on?
I know.
It's big money now.
It is. Well, the game was supposed to be at the Long Beach I think at Cal State Long Beach, and
Sold out.
it's sold out. They moved it to the crypto.com arena, and it's still sold out.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
We've
it was a
come
great
long
game.
way.
Yeah.
That's okay. So I generally leave it open. If you want to ask anything of me, any questions, any thoughts, anything you want to.
How's the podcast going?
So it's been amazing because we've had amazing guests. And we're really reaching out to people who've got unique skill sets, unique talents, unique inputs, unique world experiences. And so we want to keep it interesting and fun and educational. And we want to teach the younger generation how to lead a more productive, fulfilling life.
Awesome.
And I think we've been doing a great job. I mean, we had Tim Bush on here on Saturday of last week, and that guy is amazing. I mean, if you haven't listened to the Tim Bush podcast,
I'm going to.
You got to listen to it. There's a man of faith and intellect and capacity and success that few people possess. But the Holy Spirit has endowed that guy with more skills and more capabilities and abilities and gifts that I've ever met.
That's awesome.
And he was just phenomenal. And I mean, all these podcasts have been phenomenal because the guests are phenomenal.
Well, I love that you're doing this. Yeah, it's just, really digging in and learning. I mean, I love learning. I'm always just like curious, and that's why I've always been an early adopter of technology because I'm just like I'm curious to understand how things work. Yeah. And you wouldn't do this if you weren't curious about all these different areas, right? And that's what makes you successful, right? Because you have this broad base of knowledge and curiosity that allows you to put all these pieces together.
It's really interesting. Our businesses are just thriving crazily, and I'm not there. So it tells you what was my utility, But John Belinek and Casey McKeon and all these guys, Brad Becker, they're running these companies for us.
Yeah.
And
But you put the DNA in there. You put the culture. You put the vision and the strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to be able to do is like really
get out of
put
the way.
the direction and get out of the way, and then I can spend more time with my family, and but still have a positive impact on the world.
My one piece of advice is to get the bureaucrats out of the way of the productive people.
Yeah.
So I look at myself as a blocker, not the quarterback. My job is to get that bureaucrat out of the way of the Mike Merchant, so Mike can run this thing up the middle and score.
Nice.
And so literally the guys will come to me with, we just been awarded 3 massive projects in Colorado by one of our customers. And it just keeps getting better and better. And the more money we give away, the more it keeps coming back. I've said you can't outgive God.
Yeah.
You just keep, building villages in Nicaragua or Haiti or Minnesota, whatever. And we've done it all. And it just keeps getting better, which is why the podcast with Tim Bush was so amazing.
Nice.
Because, he's a sports team owner of 2, a Premier League team and the Golden Knights, and yet he's the most humble, Holy Spirit-driven man I've ever met. And that's what I kind of try to emulate. Yeah. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this to spread. My goal is to help 10 people a day. And if this podcast can help 10 people a day, then I've reached my goal. So it's just another modality to help people.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We both bought the same mountain bikes. We've never ridden them.
I rode mine a couple weeks ago.
How'd it go?
I was in bad shape.
Dude, I rode mine. I was in such bad shape. I fell 8 times. And I'm like, I don't think a guy with Parkinson's should be riding these mountain bikes.
Yeah.
Your balance is off.
Well, I don't have Parkinson's, but I was still.
It's hard.
I don't know. Yeah, it is hard. I had neck problems the next day. I think it was because I had to carry it across like 5 different streams down in the ravine there, and it just, I don't know. I tweaked my neck somehow.
Sorry to hear that.
That's all right. I'm gonna get back on it.
All right. We'll see you soon, and goodbye
Yeah,
love to your family.
Thank you. You too.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Take care.
We'll go riding together sometime.
Yeah.